Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another exciting day of the Australian Fitness Awards for 2020. My name is Chantal Broderick, and it's a pleasure to be your host for these awards. It has been so much fun celebrating the finalists and the winners of the awards so far. And today we are thrilled to be announcing the Fitness Educator of the Year. This is a brand new category in the awards, so we want to acknowledge all of the nominations that were received. So far, we have given out 9 awards over the last 2 weeks, and it is super important that all of the finalists know what a phenomenal achievement it is to make it this far. So please make sure that you show all of your support by either commenting in the chat box below or by hitting the love heart button on Facebook. We also want to make sure that you share the live broadcast with your friends and family. So go ahead and hit that share button right now. Now, very soon, I'm going to be introducing you to all of our finalists. But first, it's my pleasure to welcome the CEO of Fitness Australia, Barry Elvish.
Morning, Chantal, and morning, everyone else who may be watching this. Before I begin, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional landowners and thank them for sharing this truly beautiful country with us as we meet today virtually. I also acknowledge all the elders past and present. This year, 2020, Fitness Australia broadened our award program to showcase the amazing work that's being done across our whole sector, including some new awards in community exercise program, community activation, and of course, as Chantal has just identified, the inaugural Fitness Educator of the Year. Fitness awards aren't possible without the generous support of our sponsors. And the 2020 awards would like to acknowledge Australasian Leisure Management, Guild Super, Les Mills Asia Pacific, Lorna Jane, NPE, One Music Australia, and our corporate partners, Com and Guild Insurance. Now, the Fitness Educator of the Year award is one which is very special to me because I used to be a teacher in a previous life, in a previous century. And when I started my teaching career, then one of the lecturers told me a very truism which came from a long time ago. And he said to me, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. And I guess in a snapshot, that just demonstrates the importance of the educator in everyone's lives. We've had nominees from across the sector, including CEC providers, international speakers, and RTO lecturers. And today we celebrate with the 3 finalists, Gavin, Jono, and Rob. I truly did not know who has won, but I wish you all the very best and encourage you to continue the great work that you do as educators. Thank you, Chantal.
Thank you so much, Barry. So now it's on to the exciting stuff because it is my pleasure to welcome our 3 finalists for the Fitness Educator of the Year. And as I welcome you, please switch on your cameras. The finalists are Gavin Aquilina, Jonathan Petrohilos, and Rob Burr. Welcome along to all of our 3 finalists. Now I'm going to check that you are up on my screen. And we are going to have a little bit of a chat before we announce today's winner. Good morning to you all. So Jonathan, I'm going to start off with you. Tell us a little bit about your role as an educator in the fitness industry.
Yes. Did you call me Jonathan?
I did. That was very formal, Jonathan.
So yes, I'm the co-founder and co-director at Fitness Education Online with my business partner, Mr. Travis Matern. We run a whole range of different online CEC courses for fitness professionals. Our mission is to provide convenient, cost-effective, and high-quality courses because those 3 things very rarely come together, right? So we want to break that mold and bring those 3 things together. We also run the largest Facebook group in Australia for fitness professionals, also the 2nd largest in the world it is. So our goal there is to actually make that the largest in the world and do one for the Aussies.
Fantastic, Jono. Thank you so much. And Gavin, over to you. Tell us a little bit about your background as a fitness educator. Oh, and just come off mute for me. There you go.
Sorry about that. Yeah, it started quite a while back. And I suppose part of this award, I love the fact that it's called an educator because I think a lot of us who start in this area, we start as presenters, and quite often as a presenter, you're there to give content. And off the back of that, it's a little bit more about our ego. And as you move forward, then the education part comes in, and it becomes a lot less about us and becomes more about the fact of being able to work with the people in front of us so that they don't just get content, because you start becoming concerned about their psychology and why they're there. And a lot of people turn up to get education just to get education and feel good about themselves, as opposed to being an educator. You're more concerned about their outcomes. What can they put in place tomorrow, next week, next month? And I suppose my journey started off as an ACHPA lecturer about 25 years ago. And then I had the opportunity to link up with Life Fitness Global and travel around the world for them to over 43 countries and do thousands of presentations, which was a great opportunity. But once again, all of these were sort of learning phases as the presenter versus an educator. And I'm really happy to say now that it's now positioned me with Vision Personal Training as their PT operations manager, and can really implement that strategy of being not so much a presenter, but an educator, because now there's time to have follow through with all the amazing family that we've got within Vision to try and make sure that the outcomes are there and that the application is there. So I see my role as probably a student, because I always want to keep on learning, an educator, and then hopefully a role model as well.
So well said, Gavin. Thank you so much. And Rob, now over to you. Tell us a little bit about your background in the fitness industry.
Oh, we're going back, over 20 years now. It's a bit scary, but really the evolution of our academy really started in London. We were awarded quite a high profile personal training contract where we were quickly thrown into the realms of recruitment. So really our formation started from recruitment. We probably, my business partner and I, Jimbo, we were nonstop interviewing, recruiting for about 3 months for this role. It started with two trainers. We ended up with 36 trainers in our group. But what we learned from that is that people were presenting really well with great education on paper from all sorts of respected equivalent RTOs in the UK. But we'd put them through a practical exam. We would ask them to train a client under our supervision, and we would sort of throw them a few Q&As here and there and ask them to sort of change the delivery model. For example, being on a gym floor, 5:30 p.m. on a Monday night, you're not going to be able to get your bench press, your leg press, your squat rack. You're going to have to think on your feet. So we're going to sort of throw you a few curveballs, and we want to see how you deal with that. And we were really surprised with what we saw. I mean, there was just no application of the knowledge there. Now, that's not everyone. That's largely the case. So we thought, how do we do this? How do we fix this? How do we keep performance? How do we get a team that can sort of, keep performing together and hitting the target? So we formed the Academy of Fitness Business at that point in 2009. Then in 2010, I moved back to Australia, and we sort of had a dual purpose. So we set up a registered training organisation, so national vocation in Certificate 3 and 4 in fitness mainly. And so we've delivered, we've had 1,700 enrolments so far in that time. And our dual purpose there is we also work in a strength and conditioning contracted position with many secondary schools. So our aim there is to make sure that adolescents that are lifting correctly, they're staying with the guidelines, and we educate them with those guidelines. And that forms a part of their vocational education and training within the schools and within the HPE departments. And the Certificate 3 in Fitness is part of that vet and schools pathway.
Fantastic, Rob. Well, thank you so much. And I'm sure everyone will agree, 3 amazing finalists right there. So we will not keep everyone waiting any longer. It is now time to announce the winner, and best of luck to you all. And the winner of the Fitness Educator of the Year is Jonathan Petrohilos. Jono Petrohilos of Fitness Education Online has been working in the fitness industry as an educator provider for 7 years. He's developed and delivered both online and face-to-face courses to cater for the various needs of personal trainers, and has partnered with over 10 different fitness experts to create courses to ensure variety and expertise across a range of topics. Jono's presented at Filex, FitX, Idea, Fitness First, and Good Life. He prides himself on providing education that has been tried, tested, and mastered. Congratulations, Jono. Would you like to say a few words? That's it.
Yes, I would love to, Chantel. Thank you for those very kind words, by the way. I think I must have wrote them myself, though, so I gave you a bit of a hand. Look, I thank you for the award. I wasn't expecting to win it, so lucky I just jotted down a few words there in the break. Firstly, I'd like to thank Fitness Australia for putting on these awards, because it's nice to get recognised. I'm sure my the other nominees as well will agree. I mean, we don't do this for the recognition, but it's pretty cool to get nominated. So thank you, Fitness Australia. Thank you, Filex, as well, because this is obviously very closely related there. Obviously, like to thank my business partner, Mr. Travis Matern. Fitness Education Online wouldn't be there without him. We wouldn't have started it there. I'd like to thank everyone on my team at Fitness Education Online. So April, Claudia, AG, Brenda, any of our course partners, anyone that's ever written a course for us, thank you. Anyone that's ever promoted our courses, thank you. Any of our students, I think you're the number one people to thank, because you can't be a good educator without any students, right? So thank you, every student that's taken a course, anyone that's ever shared any of our posts or our content. So we wouldn't be here without you. All of my mentors, there's 100 of them, there's too many to list, and most importantly, my parents. I'm not even sure if that was what I was meant to do. Was that the goal, Chantel, to do some thank yous? That's what they do on the awards.
That was well said, Jono. Absolutely. So I've actually got a couple of questions for you. The first thing that I would love to know is that I know that you not only are a provider of education, but you are passionate about education yourself and staying up to date with the most recent research and knowledge. Talk to us a little bit about how you actually stay up to date. And you also mentioned mentors in there. Just tell us a little bit about your own education.
Oh, yes. So big reason why I'm an educator is because education's provided a huge thing in my life. So when I started in the fitness industry, to cut a long story short, I sucked. You know, I was running a boot camp, and there were 75 different boot camp locations at this franchise. And you are ranked based on your retention, you know, how many clients came back. 1 being the best, 75 being the worst. Chantel, take a guess. What do you think I was ranked out of 1 to 75?
Don't put me on the spot like that. I don't want to say, you tell us.
Number 75, actually. So not ideal, yeah. And I knew number 74, he was not a good trainer, so wasn't good. But I really loved what I did. And I was like, well, I got to do something, you know? So to cut a long story short, I started to educate myself. I did 1 course, and as a result of that course, I got a whole heap of new different exercises and ideas I could use. And then my retention grew. Then I did another course, which was more business-based, which enabled me to get more clients. And then my business grew again. And I just did a quick, the math in my head. I was like, hold on, every course I do, the better I become. Shut up and give me more of these courses. So I just loved education from there, and I always educated. So all throughout my career, and even still now, I'll always attend all the biggest fitness conventions in the world. So every Filex I'll attend, every FitX I attend. I go over to America every year and attend their convention over there. Always doing that, and I'm always reading as well. Every single day I'll read for 30 minutes to an hour.
Fantastic, Jono. And another question for you. Now, I know that you obviously educate people through your courses, but also when you present at conferences. Do you have any stories you could share with us about any of your students or your participants' lives or careers that you've changed as a result of the education that you've shared?
Oh, yes. Good question. So let me think of a good example. I'm going to use just an example because this is, for me, it's a lot of the little things as well. And I think you're like this as well, Chantel. I got a message just this morning, actually, from Amy from New Zealand, Amy Roper, I believe her name is. And she's just started a podcast. And she was like, hey, Jono, I'm 10 episodes into my podcast. And I just wanted to give a shout out to you because your podcast is the reason that started mine. So now I've got my past podcast going. It's a podcast specifically on women's health and fitness issues. So I'm able to interview the best experts in the world. I'm able to learn myself. And I'm also going to give my community a lot of knowledge there. That's just a little quick one. I was on top of my head from this morning.
No, that's a great example, and it definitely means a lot to hear that from people. And if you just want to finish off today, perhaps with one piece of advice for us, what would you say to all of the up and coming fitness professionals, personal trainers out there, when it comes to staying up to date with their skills, their knowledge, and their education? What should they be doing?
Good question. To summarize, I think any education is good education. It's very rarely that I've done a course and haven't taken anything out of it. And I think also in our industry, it's good knowledge. It's usually a financial benefit as well. So even if you end up spending $500 doing a course, chances are you'll be able to make that investment back. All that will really, you might just learn one skill that enables you to keep a client for an extra 10 weeks at $50 a week, and you've made your money back. You may learn a skill that enables you to get one extra client, and as a result of that, you've made your money back. So I would, I guess my recommendation is look at education as an investment. Don't look at it as something like, oh, great, I've got to fork out $500 because I've got to do this course. Think of it more like, hey, I want to be the best fitness professional I can. Hey, I'm going to invest some money into this course. I'm going to be a better trainer. My clients are going to be happier. I'm going to get more clients, and I'm going to make whatever money whatever little investment I made on this course, I'm probably going to make that tenfold back throughout my career.
Yeah, great advice there, Jono. Thank you. Well, just a big congratulations once again on today's award. And I also want to just acknowledge and congratulate all of our finalists here today. Such a strong category. And as Barry mentioned earlier, the first time for Fitness Educator of the Year. So congratulations, Jono, and congratulations to both our finalists, Rob and Gavin, as well. Now, before we wrap up today's ceremony, I would just like to take a moment to thank all of our award sponsors. Those sponsors are Guild Super, Les Mills Asia Pacific, Lorna Jane, NPE, One Music Australia, and Guild Insurance. Thank you to all of you for your support. Also, a quick reminder today to make sure that you take the time to visit the Fitness Australia Keep On Moving website. Now, on that website, you're going to find great fitness services to use, as well as free workouts by our partners and our members. You can head over there on keeponmoving.fitness.org.au. Now, I hope that you are loving these award ceremonies as much as I am. It's been absolutely incredible presenting these awards and seeing the amazing talent within our industry. And we have another award coming up next week. It is coming on next Tuesday at 11 a.m. And the award is the Community Activation Award. Very important one. So make sure that you tune back in next Tuesday at 11 a.m. to meet the finalists and to hear the announcement of the winner. On behalf of all the team at Fitness Australia, thank you so much for joining me today, and enjoy the rest of your week.